Hey, I was going to do a grinding video since I'm close to getting my compound trinket, but while I was out, I actually got the newsletter for this month for the EME partners. So this month, the prize is a splendid Dark Command chest. These are, I believe, that they're sold for $10. Yeah, it's one of these. So it's a $10 value. I'm sure the odds are heavily weighted towards some of the crappy stuff. Just looking at this right now, I can tell you the worst things you could probably get is the pet random box. Uh, Probably the dark consumables, maybe the dark tuning as well. And then the absolute worst thing you can get is the gardening and the maid service vouchers. So I'm going to go ahead and open mine right now. I only have one code for this, so I do have a couple people that exclusively watch me for closers content, so I'm going to do this the same as I've done in the past several months since I've been a partner. Just go ahead and comment. I will have to use random.org if more than one person answers, and then I'll choose a winner tomorrow. I'm not going to keep you guys waiting because honestly, there's a pretty high chance you won't get anything of note here. A lot of this stuff is not really worth that much, so seems like it's heavily weighted towards the things that you can't sell. Apparently the plus 13 booster is not tradable. If that was tradable, you could make about 480 million. That's what I sold mine for from this package here. The best thing you can get, obviously, is the Dark Command, the set pieces. Like more than one in a package. That would probably be the best thing you can get, but we'll see right now what the odds are. So once again, only one for this month. Let's go ahead and open this. Dark consumables box. Yeah, that's that's probably the most common drop from that. Unfortunately, you would have to buy a lot of those to break even. Let's go ahead and open it though. Actually, 5 transcendental elixirs. That's like worth about 100 million. So about 80 to 100 million. So that's actually not bad at all. I mean, if that's the worst possible thing you can get that can be traded or sold, then that's actually not a bad deal. You can also sell the quality assurance seals for quite a bit as well. So that's what I got. Hopefully you guys will have better luck. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and transition to what I want to do today. I actually tier 5 transcended all of my boosters, and the core is done. And you can see I have 157 of the crafting material. Now, what I'm going to do today, I'm probably not going to do the whole process because it'll be really boring and I won't really have a whole lot to talk about during the whole time, is I'm going to grab this. This has, I believe, 30 of the multidimensional reactive substances. So, if I can grind these out today, I have about, like, I think 14 of these on J as well, then I should be able to get my final compound trinket today. Yeah, the only thing I'm missing is the 23 of these. So I'm going to show the method for how to grind these out in the fastest way possible. Now, if you have at least 2 characters capable of one-shotting these maps, then you can probably finish it in about an hour. Now, you're going to spend more time looking at load screens than like actually doing anything, unfortunately. That's just the way that it's designed. So you want to clear all these single boss fights. So Alra Une, the Gateway is a good one as well. Vitus and Mephisto have the least cutscenes, so you can actually finish these pretty quickly. There you go. One shot. You will get a bunch of junk in your inventory, so you may have to go out from time to time and clear all that out. Now, if you actually have a character to level, that's actually a very fast way to get it as well, but this is actually the #1 fastest way to do it. Pretty much all the Plane Gate boss battles can be finished in under a minute, even with cutscenes and stuff, so you're probably looking at about maybe 90 seconds per run on some of the longer ones. And since you could do 9 of these a day if you have platinum, I believe you get extra entries with platinum. You can pretty easily do this on a single character. And you didn't even need full purification gear to one-shot Vitus and Mephisto before. It's just now it's even easier. I have pretty optimized gear. I don't have any plus 14s or anything, but gear's still pretty decent. But even before then, I could one-shot this guy on Assault. It's pretty nice of them to give out one of those loot boxes, but loot boxes in this game, to be honest, are very heavily weighted towards junk items. So you basically would have to buy a lot of them to even have a chance of getting something really good. But it doesn't particularly bother me. You know, people can get lucky with those things. It's just that the chance of getting anything really good with one is very low. But since they offer, you know, options like the Nitocris premium package, which I actually bought about a week ago when I got paid from Curse, like that, I basically got to the gold cap with that, so it doesn't particularly bother me. This game's definitely easier to, like, you know, spend money on the game and get in-game money than it is on a lot of other games like this. You know, some other games like DFO don't really have a lot of things that you can trade, and if you can, they're like not really high-demand items, or the demand for them goes down so low that it's not really a feasible way to get a large amount of money. But here, it's pretty much all high-demand stuff. It's usually better to spend money on the game when they have one of those packages available. You can see how boring this is, but this is actually the fastest way. Just rider kick him and he dies. Got 52 of them already, so maybe another half hour of this would do it, but I'm not going to subject you guys to that. I'll do another video tomorrow. I may play this, I may not. I'll try to show the process of actually crafting the compound trinket since I've been working on it for so long. But I'm going to give you guys at least a day to respond. It may take longer than that, I know. It's not really a time-sensitive thing. The code does not expire or anything, so I can give it out whenever I want. But it's really up to you guys. So you can do these too. They just take a little longer because you actually have to fight some generic moops. Not moops, but mooks beforehand. So how much of that was cutscenes? Probably a pretty large amount of it. But if you have a character with purification gear, you can easily finish this in a single day, and it really won't take that long. You're going to be watching a lot of cutscenes, but I mean that's not really something that's uncommon for games like this. Especially instance games where there's a lot more loading things involved. So you get 9 entries of these a day, and you have a variety of them you can do. So you're looking at maybe like 50 entries per character. So if you did this on one of your mains, or your main and one alt, then you should be able to clear it. Obviously in the end game, you don't clear that many dungeons. You know, you're able to really stockpile the entry items for the raids. And a lot of times, especially myself, I don't even really need to do the sides, so you're probably going to end up having to do this before the event expires. So there's 55 already. Let me go ahead and check J. I will do the rest of this off camera since it's not particularly interesting. But yeah, the monthly newsletter reward is actually pretty sweet, so you guys should get in on it. Definitely let me know what you guys get from it, whoever wins. I'm curious to see if the RNG will be nice. Alright, so I think I have a couple on J. I think I have at least a dozen or something. I have 55 on Harpy and 11 on him, so I'm looking at 66. So 34 more runs. That won't take as long as it sounds. So Jay can just stylishly pose and kill him in one shot as well. He doesn't do anywhere near as much damage as Harpy, but he's definitely next on the list. I'm not really going to have a whole lot to do with Harpy past today once I finish these 100 runs. I have been trying and honestly not doing too well to get him a plus 14. You want to see here. I've been alternating between these two because they're already superior grade or quality. But they both reset at the same time, so I'll have to make another attempt. So he's doing like 3 times less damage than Harpy, and he can still one-shot them, so the threshold for being able to do this and get those materials is pretty low. Now you can get 5 of those reactive substances a day, and that's if you don't count overflowed. So this is actually about 6 days of progress, which is actually pretty crazy when you think about it. They're giving you almost a week of progress. If you count overflowed and it's regular overflowed, you can get an extra 2, but it's not the same thing every day, so you're still looking at about a week of grinding saved. Alright, one more run of this, and then I'll show the Nitocris sides, because those are actually pretty fun, and you can get some good materials from them, from what I hear. And then I will attempt to do another plus 14 upgrade. You can see how fast this is going. I'm already down to 30 runs, and it's only been like 2 or 3 minutes. I like how this game respects your time. You know, you can easily play sometimes even less than an hour, depending on how many characters you really focus on, and you can finish all your stuff pretty quickly. So I'm kind of concerned that they're adding like bigger. I think there's supposed to be like 12 character raids or something. I'm not really sure how that's going to work. I don't want this game to become a elitism fest like DFO can be at times. Also, like I mentioned in the last closers video, the engine is not really... It can barely handle 4 players on the screen at once, so I'm not really sure how having a bunch of them is going to work either. I think they need to put more work into actually optimizing the engine before they do that kind of thing, but maybe that's in the cards. They haven't really shown anything about the raids in the Korean version, so there's a chance that they'll make it a little better. This game used to take like 2-3 minutes to load before recently, so I wouldn't be surprised if they actually have some optimization improvements coming before they add those kind of things. This is like the worst boss you can get, worst mid boss you can get, because he spends a lot of time underground. Harpy and Jay, despite having you know, martial artist movesets, they are very different. Jay has a ton of burst damage, and he can actually take more hits than a lot of the other characters can. And Harpy is more of a combo-heavy character. And you have to sit through a large chunk of the animations to really do damage with her. I wanted Jay to be my main, but the game kind of decided that that was not something that I would be able to do. But now that I have some in-game money, I've been making attempts the past few days to get him a plus 14. I just learned my lesson, and I don't do it on my regular weapon anymore. He's a lot of fun to play. I'm glad that they buffed him. He's supposed to be getting some more buffs in the near future, so maybe that will help as well. He's obviously not a very popular character because he's a male character, but he's definitely my favorite character in this game. Alright, so I'm going to close off this video since I still have like another 29 runs to do, and that won't be particularly interesting to watch. I'm going to make some attempts to get him a plus 14. So I go back to the Sugar Mama Harpy, buy a bunch of EB2s and Gear Booster Fuel if they're available. Going to make 10 attempts. I do want to save some money since the plan is to buy Platinum Drivers and then put probably either Airstrike or Back Attack chips in all of these here once I get the third compound trinket. That'll be a pretty significant power boost. Alright, so EB2s are actually a pretty decent price right now. Let's check Gear Booster Fuel first. Alright. Buy 15 of these. Sometimes you don't actually get to use them all. And then go ahead and grab that. See if there's an airstrike box as well. No, yeah, these are going for pretty cheap right now. So yeah, I should be able to finish her gearing today. These are 70 million as well. So yeah, that's the plan. I'll try to record that if I can, and maybe watching another stream or something. Alright, so I'm going to go back on Jay and make some likely futile attempts at getting him a plus 14. Let me put another 3 million in the bank for him. I know people love to watch my my failures with RNG, so I think this is a good way to appease everybody. Especially since there's a giveaway in this video as well. Might as well get all the content in there at once. Not a closer's video without getting trolled by RNG after all. Alright, so I'll have to put these back up to plus 10, which is going to take a little bit. Later on, we're going to get an update that makes the first 10 levels of enhancement go faster, which is definitely nice. I definitely wish we had that right now. I'm sure we'll get that in a few patches. This game has caught up to Korea really fast, and Korea, on the other hand, has kind of slowed down in updates. It seems like the next couple things they're planning on adding to the game are going to take significantly longer, which is why they're making us wait a couple months for buy. That character does look pretty cool, but I'm still working on Jay. By the time I get him all set up, if this game ever decides to throw me a bone and give me some good RNG, then I'm sure I'll be ready for a new character by then. Apparently I have 21 attempts, so might be here for a little while. So I get both of them to plus 10, that way if one of them resets I can just go to the other one. It's always good to keep these cores because you can pretty much get them back to where they were with a little effort. Alright. So now comes the true RNG part. Wow, it's not even it's not even failing. Alright, one's contaminated, so let's go to this one. It's already off to a great start. Alright, that one reset, so now it's time to decontaminate this one. Oh, man. And before you ask, I do this very often without recording or streaming, so for once the recording curse is not applicable to this game. Alright, I think I've still got like 12 attempts or something. I have 13 attempts after this, so that's enough. I'm already out of gear booster fuels because of how many times it's failed. Again. Alright, now I need to get more of those. Finish off the last 10 attempts here. Alright, go back on Harpy. I think this is going to be the last attempt I make for a while, since I'm going to be spending quite a bit on Harpy's gear today once I finish getting the last compound trinkets. Alright, it's going to be the last batch of attempts here. You can see just how costly this can get, but since you're doing it on weapons that you don't care about, it's not that big of a deal. Alright, a plus 11, so that's good. I could potentially get a great success all the way up to plus 14. Normally you would go down to minus 10. You'd use a minus 1 booster and then try to get a plus 13, but since I don't care about this weapon, I'm just going to try to go straight up, if possible. Nope. I jinxed it. Alright, 5 more attempts. Alright, got another try here. It's my last attempt. Will it actually decide to spite me after all the hundreds of millions of credits I've spent trying to do this? This is the final chance. Alright, I can't end on that. I'm gonna go ahead and buy 4 more. Got to at least see it reset, which is what it's obviously going to do. Or destroy. Usually when they're both reset is when I stop, so I will spend a little more money on this. It's one for a rock bottom price. Alright. Okay, these are the last attempts for real. Whatever happens, happens here. Whoa, plus 12. Nice. So I could use enhancement fortifiers at this point, but I think it's better to just try to go all the way up, since the EB2s will give a higher chance. It's still a troll, though. Alright, well, that is the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I have a Dark Command loot box to give out, so go ahead and get those entries in. I will probably draw them tomorrow, since this isn't really my main game that I play. There's usually only a couple of people that are interested, so I will draw it tomorrow. I may or may not show the process of crafting the compound trinket, since I'm actually going to be doing this while watching another stream. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.